Hey, cats and kittens, let's roll.
You're listening to Late Night Radio on the SHR Media Network. Caution, there will be mature themes explored and potentially adult language used. If conservatarian words, phrases, certain concepts, or rhetoric offends you, tune out now.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Left the lies and globalism, pushing them back from the saloon to the airwaves, spitting it raw. Constitution's my compass, liberty's law. God's creeping, shadows on the land, feds with the schemes trying to bind up my hands. But I'm the Sherpa, guiding through the storm. Red, white, and blue, yeah, freedom's reborn. They spin their tails, but I see through the haze. Media maggots, lost in the maze. I'm calling it out, no fear in my soul. This patriot's fire ain't losing control. Conservative Sherpa leading the fight. Torch in the dark, burning bright in the night. Stand for the truth, won't bow to the game. Sherpas, come and remember my name. Sherpas rising. Leftist judges twisted, trying to steal our rights, but I'm locked and loaded, got them in my sights. From J6 to the border, they're selling us out. I'm screaming from the mountain, hear my rebel shout. They mock the flag, but I'm holding it high. Stars and stripes forever under God's open sky. No globalist chains gonna cage this land. I'm the Sherpa with the truth in my hand. They push their agenda, but I'm breaking the mold. Their promises empty, their hearts ice cold. Chicago's bleeding, borders torn apart. I'm fighting for the people with the warrior's heart. Conservative Sherpa leading the fight. Torch in the dark, burning bright in the night. Stand for the truth, won't bow to the game. Sherpas, come and remember my name. Sherpas rising. Storms, I've walked the line. 41 years, badge on the grind, now I'm on the air. My voice like a blade, cutting through the lies that the traitors made. Hurricanes rage, but we're standing tall. Sheriffs of the Constitution, answering the call. From the saloon to the heart of the fray, we're taking back America, no more delay. Conservative Sherpa leading the fight. Torch in the dark, burning bright in the night. Stand for the truth, won't bow to the game. Sherpas, come and remember my name. Sherpas resound. Conservative Sherpa freedom's battleground. Berserk Bobcat rolls will never kneel. For God and country, this fight is real.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show, where I am broadcasting not behind enemy lines in occupied California. I always fell up with a K like I used to, but in no Idaho from an actual free state. I happen to be this dude, one each, the conservative Sherpa. I am guiding you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. And please notice that for the next hour or two, I've got a great guest for you. Do you know who it is? The show consists of my opinion and my opinion only, and those of my guests, and not necessarily those of the SHR Media Network or any other networks or affiliates which happen to be playing or substituting this show for Jimmy Kimmel or celebrity dick weavers. just thought I'd tell you so that you know I am doing the job that the American media maggots won't. I am fundamentally changing America, one leftist red diaper doper baby at a time. We don't water our drinks right here, like we don't water our conversations. We are still serving stiff drinks here in the saloon, along with facts, history, logic, rationality, proportion, clarity, context, tradition, and common sense for normal people. What do we talk about here, BZ? We talk about it all. Politics, religion, crime, culture, race, sex, science, economics, law, everything is subject to be discussed right here in the saloon, where the speech is free, but the booze is not. I am streaming live right now on a whole bunch of different places like this. Look, like maybe Spreaker, like maybe YouTube, maybe Apple Podcasts, later in podcasts, like maybe Facebook, like maybe Twitch, X, Rumble. And of course, KLRN. I don't believe that I'm carried live right now on KLRN. But if you look below, look, see right here. It's going away. Come back. SHR has 625 incredibly beautifulest people. I don't know if your music went out live, but I heard it. I couldn't hear it through YouTube, but they sound great here. Damn it, Jim. Well, folks in chat, if you would, tell me if you heard the music, the intro music, then that would help. That would greatly help. And let's see, Jersey, wait, go back. Canada Heavy Hall was first. Sean Lewis is in chat. Mission Ready Men is in chat. Jersey Joe, potato, is in chat. And let's see, Jersey Joe, popcorn yellow stripe piles, popcorn yellow stripe smile, popcorn yellow stripe smile. I folks, are you seeing a trend here? The trend I'm seeing is popcorn yellow stripe smile. And if you've identified anything else, please, I tell you, I beg of you, go and check to see if your eyes are okay. Tell me right now, can you find the black dot? Do you see the black dot? Do you know about a black dot? Or in lieu of that, do you happen to see, as I do, a 1959 Nash Metropolitan? That's what I'm seeing right now. Wait a minute. Do I hear someone? I hear someone. Who is that someone? Where? Who is it? It looks like Sean of Lewis from the SHR Media studio that I once occupied a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So if you haven't guessed it yet, Sean Lewis is the #1 individual who is with me here in the show. Applause for Sean. PGC, okay? That's a polite golf. Oh, PGC. I'm sorry. Polite golf clap. You don't make much of it. Anyway. Oh, wait.
I also gave myself a pat in the back just because.
Okay. Now, Joe, Sean wants to know how's the flora coming. And of course, like the episode, Reich episode, subscribe to network if you haven't done so yet. BZ gets his meds delivered as per likes, or my vodka, or a porcelain Dalmatian, whichever comes first. Oh, contract. When your contractor gets food poisoning, that doesn't bode well for your show. Or getting anything done if you're hiring a contractor. UBG is also in chat. Greetings to him. Greetings to everybody. You can't see his emoji. That is in the YouTube chat. So anyway, folks, if you heard the intro, let me know. If you came too late but not so great, then I don't know what to tell you.
Intro music.
The intro music, yes. Did you? Sherpa has in the name. I should know the lyrics by now, but I don't. In any event, there we go. Hey, look, I got this from a private camera which was installed and caught Nancy Pelosi saying this one day. And I knew immediately I had to rush quick like a bunny and play it for you guys.
Ever since I left Congress, my trades are shit. I can't get any insider information anymore. And these fuckers won't tell me anything anymore. So I've been drinking a lot more. My husband's still in love with a homeless hammer guy, visiting him in jail and shit. So it hasn't been easy. Okay.
So to me, it looks like she's had better days. I could be
Well,
wrong.
ever since I left
could be
Congress,
right.
my
Nancy, you had enough. We've all had enough of you. All of us. And so here's also, now, I like to put, I haven't done this. I should. Oh, where was it? Where is it? Where am I? Where is it? I customarily put this under and I don't even see it. I can't even find it. The cavalcade of death sports. It's not up here. How sad. But I'm going to put it up here and play it. And so this is a compendium of cool shit.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. You're my best friend. In a world we must defend. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Our hearts so true. Our courage will pull us through.
Oh gosh.
And
I love it.
you, Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
My favorite part.
On with us, folks. Why weren't you singing along with Sean and me?
I didn't even realize that was Homeland Security themselves that put that out,
Yeah,
which is even better.
that's why that thing was absolutely awesome. That is great.
That's funny.
I want to find out why I couldn't discover. Why isn't this moving? Banners. Oh, also, I have 134 followers. I'm looking for 10,528 followers.
You're almost there.
On Rumble, and I'm almost there. Yes, exactly. On Rumble, on the SHR Media Group Rumble channel, I'm at 134. So I have a couple, but I think I can primarily get to that tonight if you guys decide that you're going to help me. And also, Mike Pask was in chat saying, hello, Mike. And Jersey Joe's new girlfriend is cooking.
No, that's the contractor.
Oh, no. That's what he said. His new girlfriend is cooking. I don't know if I'd be putting that information out there really as rapidly as that. Let's go on. Oh, gee, do I have this? I think I do. And I have to do this myself now because Merlin Queffel is suing me. So I have to do it all on my own. Good God.
The bloviating Zeppelins, HeyJackass.com, Chicago death toll update. Courtesy of every leftist running that city. From the mayor, police chief, and every autocrat in the 50 wards.
I can't believe that he's suing you like that.
I know. It's absolutely, completely wrong. Anyway,
I told you, BZ, I told you not to snap gloves.
You gave me fair warning. I will agree.
I said
anyway,
the snap gloves go too far.
I know. HeyJackass.com, HeyJackass.com, illustrating Chicago values. Chicago, the city of big shoulders, where today, September to date, shot and killed 29, shot and wounded 112. Total shot 141, total homicides 32. In the week in progress, September 21st, the 4th of Firth, until September 27th. Go ahead and laugh someday. Shot and killed 4, shot and wounded 12, total shot 16, total homicide. Laugh, go ahead. Total homicides 4. Year to date, the big cool numbers: shot and killed 275, shot and wounded 1,219, total shot 1,494, total homicides. Holy moly, 326. And in Chicago right now, these times have gone down. A person is shot every 4 minutes and 16 seconds, and a person is murdered every 19 minutes and 30 seconds. The last time I played this last week, it was up to 20 minutes. Now it is not. It is going down.
19 hours.
The bloviating Zeppelins, HeyJackass.com, Chicago death toll update.
That's the first I've heard that.
Every leftist running that city, from the mayor, police chief, and every alder crap in the 50 wards.
Also, speaking of which, did you guys happen to see this over the past weekend? It's like CWB Chicago, just this past weekend, 27 shot, 4 fatally over the weekend, fewer than last year, more than pre-pandemic. 27 people were shot in Chicago over the weekend, four of them fatally. The tally marks an improvement. Oh, you got to take the win where you can.
I was just noting that they wrote this like it was 0 shot.
They're thinking it's like
fewer than last year.
Fucking A, baby.
Pandemic.
Bonus, huge bonus, not regular bonus, huge bonus. Plus, there's also this.
They still have more murders than Mogadishu, but at least they're working on it.
But Chicago looks better, and they have that really chrome, round, bubbly looking thing on the plaza that Mogadishu definitely does not. But I think they're working on it. They've got a contractor. Yeah. I've got an app for it. They've got an app for it. Also in Chicago from ABC7, peacekeeper photographed with Governor Pritzker charged in deadly mag mile crash and grab. So if there isn't just a bit of irony here, damn, the picture used to be up here. Anyway, 6 days after a photo was taken of Illinois Governor J.B. Jabba the Hutt Pritzker posing alongside a peacekeeper, court records claim the man was part of a violent crash and grab burglary on Michigan Avenue with a crash that happened to kill a young father, ABC7 has learned. So why wouldn't you want to be in Chicago?
The best part is he was part of the Peacekeepers, which I don't know their exact mission, but I think it's like a volunteer anti-gang. Like
yes. You
know, you're doing 459 robberies.
Yeah, it's like the first of the night right there.
I'll tell you, man.
Go ahead and tell us, man.
I wish this was the first time something like this has happened. But I'm pretty sure, I think, what is it, earlier this year somewhere, it could be in New Orleans, where like a big supporter of the mayor who is like involved in the community and a great guy, all around good Joe, was like involved for a double homicide. You know, it's just, it kills me. And I get it. Like in Pritzker's defense, which I don't defend him on. You can't
defense.
You can't always pick and choose who shows up at your live events, right? I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, look, Freedom Fest had us, right? I mean, sometimes shit just happens, but the irony of you can't take a picture with a community member from Chicago without them being involved in a robbery homicide is just absolutely amazing.
Well, shoot, if I can do this, go down, and I need to go over here and do this. Here's something unusual. And these days, leftists are demanding that I make these delineations, if you will. Let me turn this back up and we'll play.
The fact of the matter is we are driving violence down on this city, and we're using every single resource that's available to us. Okay. Jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness that has not led to safe communities. The fact.
Okay. Law enforcement is a sickness.
Yes.
Has not led to safe communities.
He is the Baghdad Bob of Chicago.
You know, excuse me while I state the obvious. You know, what an astoundingly racist, ignorant, moronic, black male asshole.
Yep.
You elected him, Chicago. You're probably going to elect him again. You deserve him. You want it. You need it. You got it.
And it wasn't like he changed who he was, right? It wasn't like Eric Adams in the first 2 years where he came in on this kind of like, I'm going to be tough on crime. And then the first 2 years, he screwed the pooch. And then when it got turned on him, then all of a sudden he's like, well, I guess we really have to be tougher on crime. No. He was worse than Lori Lightfoot in his policies going into the election. And now they're all pissed. And it's like, dude, what did you think you were going to get? I will tell you right now, to my friends who live in high crime inner city areas, even in a perfect world where you get your liberal dream, or in order for that to happen, where unicorns run the streets, there is no crime, there is no violence, and you've turned the corner to paradise land, guess what? Between now and then is a Rubicon you have to fucking cross. You can't just say crime, murder, and homicide are acceptable, and we're going to elect somebody who's not going to change because they have the right amount of melanin in their skin, or they have the right liberal policy, or they say the same things that all the liberal lunatics say. No, you're going to have to actually search your soul and say, yeah, you know what? I don't want to see my friend's kid get arrested, but I also kind of getting sick and tired of the drive-bys at his house because he's a banger and they go through my wall. You have to really search your soul. Like, you got to reset it. If you want this to change as a city, you have to reset it. And part of resetting it is to eradicate the criminals from your neighborhood. If you do not do that, criminals are not going to change unless you force them to change. Removing cops, removing law enforcement, and putting in all these social workers, blah, blah, blah bullshit. Look, I understand that every once in a while there's a call that a social worker may handle differently and perhaps better than law enforcement. But we're not talking about fucking Mayberry. This is Chicago, right? You know, you're not going to talk Otis the drunk into putting down the bottle in Mayberry on a Saturday afternoon. You're talking about gangbangers giving up entire neighborhoods that they have on lockdown because they control it. And he's talking about how law enforcement is the symptom and the problem or the disease, whatever the fuck he said. The reality of the situation is, I think Chicago's down like 1,000 cops right now. So they don't even have the levels they're supposed to have. So you're already proving the point that less law enforcement does not change anything. And by the way, just because there aren't as many murders this year that there were last year does not mean you're fixing the problem. It means ammunition is just running out of stock. So let's be realistic about it.
Well, the other thing that I like to point out,
I don't want to go off that,
is that hey, that's why you're here. That's why I'm here. That's why people listen to us. But the other thing I want to point out is there are any number of videos linked to Chicago, linked to Mayor Brandon Johnson, that they're pissed at him. He's fighting for illegal invaders. He's not fighting for the citizens of Chicago. And specifically because, one's melanin count and one's paint job is critical to leftists. He's fighting against Black Chicago citizens, actual Chicago residents. I don't understand. I never have how that plays, why that plays. That seems,
I don't know,
ever so strange to me.
You would vote against yourself. Look, I don't care. Let's take race out of the issue for just this portion of the conversation. We know that what's his face, the mayor is racist because he said so many racist things. But let's take that completely out of the equation from this point on for a minute. Why would you vote for anybody who is just, if you live in a place where your car gets broken into 5 times a week, there's a shooting in front of your house 3 times a week, your kid's school goes into lockdown on a regular because there's so much crime in the neighborhood, there's bodies falling all over the place, why would you vote for that to continue? Don't at some point you have to say, all right, I voted for this 8 times in a row in my life. I'm 50 years old. Maybe, just maybe we should start listening to somebody else. Maybe they just haven't figured it out yet. I don't think these guys know what they're doing. If I go to a doctor and he misses the diagnosis 100 times, at some point, I'm going to go, maybe he's not really the doctor for me. Maybe he's not like just not hitting the nail on the head here. And I know that because this is the 4th time I've had a proctology exam in 2 weeks.
And maybe I should actually go for a second opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
Or maybe you should call me
falling out and he keeps trying to send me to the podiatrist. Maybe he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Are you going to call me Dennis?
You old woman.
Old woman! Ma'am, sorry. What knight lives in that castle over there? I'm 37. What? I'm 37. I'm not old.
Sean. Sean.
Such a great movie.
It was an incredible movie. Let's put this up because Sean sent me this as well. I saw it, but Sean sent it to me. I don't want to make sure that I play these things as well. Can it be that AI is wiping out leftists and leftist media? Well, here's 3.5 minutes. And that'll take us to the bottom of the hour. It'll be time for a cock-a-pee-pee break or go to hit the electric winkle chamber. But this guy is making a great argument. What's he saying?
AI is wiping out mainstream media, and it is glorious. The Wall Street Journal reports that mainstream news sites are getting, quote, crushed by Google's new AI tools, where instead of reading the article, people scan the AI summary and move on. The journal estimates search traffic to legacy media has fallen by half for sites ranging from the Huffington Post to the Washington Post. Business Insider just cut its staff by 21%, citing, quote, extreme traffic drops outside of our control, as in AI. At a company-wide meeting earlier this year, Atlantic Magazine said they now assume search traffic will drop to, quote, 0, saying they need to evolve their business model. Even the Gray Lady, the New York Times, says search share dropped 20% in the 3 years since AI search came out. Now, this is making
Okay, let me stop right there. I don't feel bad about this at all because Google and all the other various search engines and also Twitter, X when it was Twitter, have all made sure that they completely relegate Breitbart to the curb. Breitbart doesn't get any hits. It's picked up slightly. So I don't feel bad about this at all. I can go on a search, well, not a search engine. I can go on Google and then try to, I have done it. I should probably do it here and type in the specific headline from a Breitbart article. And I'll also insert the word Breitbart at the end of the inquiry, and it will send me everywhere except Breitbart.
Perfect storm for legacy media, which is already hemorrhaging viewers, since they lie for a living and treat 2/3 of their viewers with grotesque, even murderous contempt. According to Gallup, trust in media is the lowest in 50 years, with just 31% of Americans saying they trust mainstream media. Hollywood box office is down by half since 2019.
Sorry.
Newspaper jobs are down 3/4 since their peak. MSNBC audience is down 30% in a single year. CNN is down 56% in 1 year. The median viewer at CNN is now 67 years old. At MSNBC, it is 71. An upcoming ban on pharmaceutical advertising threatens 1 in 5 ad minutes. This perfect storm is already driving media to the auction block. Trump-aligned Skydance just bought CBS. Another Trump ally bought the LA Times, the third biggest newspaper in the Republic. CNN and MSNBC are being reorganized for sale. So if the audience is fleeing legacy, where are the eyeballs going? Easy, new media. Podcasts, Substack newsletters, social media. As in, AI summaries can replace the slop that CNN or USA Today pumps out, but it cannot replace a Joe Rogan show or a Charlie Kirk podcast. In fact, a recent study found a majority of Americans now get their news from social media. Now, this matters because while mainstream media is near monolithically left-wing, or at best establishment Republican, new media is overwhelmingly independent or MAGA. This is because legacy media got its audience from advertising. They bought it, while new media got it from word of mouth, the content itself. So Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson did not buy their audience with ads. This means if AI search guts, paid promotion, legacy media dies.
Okay, let me stop right here and rejoice un momentito, if you will, as we pause on this, Sean, any comment before we hit we're not going to hit the road. We are going to hit the electric winkle chamber. So, sir, final moment before the bottom of the hour break. Go.
Freaking predictable. This was entirely predictable. This is what happens when you are long-winded, saying the same shit repeatedly and then hide it behind a paywall. And then when people get there, you have an absolute garbage outlet and it's all one-sided no matter what.
And that incisive view from Sean, folks. I'll be right back. We're going to take a break. We hope you take a break as well. And hit it. Me, not Merlin. Hit it.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Mission log. Intrigue. I mean, let's face it, who's even counting anymore? The Lost Wanderer is officially off course, chasing rogue rocket launches, fringe science, and things that probably violate causality. If it burns fuel, bends time, or makes scientists very uncomfortable, yeah, I'm probably going to talk about it. Every other Sunday on KLRN Radio, The Lost Wanderer, because space doesn't come with a roadmap, and honestly, I wouldn't follow if it did.
Hello, I'm Matt, a student at Hillsdale College. Here's Hillsdale President Larry Arnn on the continuing relevance of the Constitution.
Many argue today that the Constitution is outdated because it addresses problems peculiar to the 18th century. Some parts of the Constitution do read rather quaintly. Consider the injunction against titles of nobility in Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution. But is that so outdated? The purpose of the injunction is to prevent the government granting special privileges to some for partisan reasons. This strikes at the heart of the rule of law. The crony capitalism so common today is a place where the government bestows favors and tax dollars on some businesses to give them a leg up over others. This is exactly the kind of thing the Constitution was meant to prohibit. The Constitution is not so outdated after all.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To join the national conversation on the Constitution, go to constitutionminute.com.
Hey fellas, are you mission ready? You need to check out Mission Ready Men via Earl Big E Jackson on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and noon Eastern. It's a show that equips you to navigate our society's challenges from a biblical perspective with courage and conviction. Tune into Mission Ready Men as we examine our culture through the prism of biblical truths, teachings, and how to apply them in our daily lives. Prepare to step up, stand out, and step into your role as a man as ordained by God. That's Mission Ready Men, hosted by Earl Jackson on the SHR Media Network. And get mission ready.
Want to make an immediate difference in the life of a critically ill child? You have the ability to do that right now. Make a donation to Dream Makers for Life, the organization that restores dreams to seriously ill children and their families. You can sponsor a dream pack for a child, which contains a clear PVC backpack, a dry erase board adventure coloring book, a journal, and dry erase markers to inspire a critically ill child to envision a future adventure and hope. Want to become a dream maker for life yourself? Go to dreamforlife.org. That's dreamforlife.org. Help a child. Help a family. There is always hope.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And I'm back. I'm BZ. I'm nationwide. For whatever reason, I still have a show, and you're still watching it, and I'm still happy that that's occurring. In comments, look, there are more comments. Canada Heavy Haul. Gotta love CEND censorship. That's what he meant. He meant censorship. And tonight with me is the one, the only, the star-studded, studly star. That's a mouthful. Okay, the star-studded, studly star himself, Sean Lewis of the Edge of Liberty. And so let's put this up because you set this in private chat. I'm going to finish the video in just a second. So you started it. You go with it, folks. Name. Go ahead. Fine.
Journey to the center of the asshole.
Yeah. Name a movie, but replace one word with asshole. Doctor Strange asshole. One of my all-time favorites.
One of my favorite part is, though, is you could just say asshole, pardon, not explain yourself, and then everybody has to guess what one named movie you're talking about.
Sure, like that classic. Who wouldn't want to watch that classic movie about a jury inherit the asshole?
Yeah. Oh, I just meant asshole. You know, the one where the shark starts attacking everyone on the beach in Nantucket?
Oh, asshole. Sure. Okay. Right. Yeah. that makes
Asshole
sense.
Wars.
Well, let's go back to this one because this was so much fun. And I loved that you and I, GMTA, were thinking about the same thing. And Sean, excuse me, Jersey came up with Asshole Wars. Of course. Why wouldn't you want to listen to that? So let's continue about the absolute removal of left-wing media. Go.
And new media inherits the audience. To illustrate, these daily videos get roughly half the viewers of Anderson Cooper. Joe Rogan has triple the audience of the top news show on TV. Of the top 50 podcasts in America, just 7 are mainstream media. The other 86% are independent. So a stats brought to you by I Trust Capital. For 100 years, American media has been dominated by the left and its useful idiots, ever since FDR started throwing journalists in jail. As recently as the 1970s, you had essentially 0 dissenting voices. The 80s opened up with talk radio, but we were still 10-1. The 90s was the internet. Bloggers took us to maybe 5-1, and then social media, which brought us nearly even, which is why they panicked with the censorship. AI, gutting legacy media, could finally even it up.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a happy story.
Very happy story.
And exquisite. Oh, here's another one from Jersey Joe. Star Wars, Revenge of the Assholes. and as Phantom says, I don't have my Don. God, what was that guy's name? He passed away about 10 or 15 years ago. He's the guy that did In a World. Now, if I could only do my In a World, in a very different arse, a long time ago, in an arse far, far away. Or as you said, Nightmare on Asshole Street. So everybody, you, me, folks, thanks for listening tonight. Here's an interesting story that I have not seen anyone really go over or mention. This is from Gateway Pundit. Sometimes I pull stories here, sometimes I do not. With Gateway Pundit stories, I always want to make sure that I get probably customarily a second agreement on this from someone somewhere. New Jersey man, and of course, you did not see this on the American media maggots. New Jersey man secures nearly 1 million documents from Detroit's 2020 election, including copies of absentee ballots and signed envelopes in one of the largest election Freedom of Information Act hauls in history. Well, BZ, scroll down, show them the picture. Oh, look, these are what resulted from his Freedom of Information Act request. This guy's name is Yehuda Miller. He's standing next to one of the largest election Freedom of Information Act hauls in U.S. history on the same day he picked up documents from this is from the city of Detroit. Well, let's go after this. After years of being gaslit by some of the most dishonest people in election history, the Gateway Pundit, along with some of the most respected election investigators in the state, are about to blow the lid off the lies about Detroit's secure 2020 election that helped to give Joe Biden an inexplicable, I can't figure out how Joe Biden won victory in the must-win state of Michigan. But I suggest 2 things. Number one is we'll probably be seeing more of this in various media outlets. And second, I almost would have to conclude that it was a good thing that Trump didn't win 2020, because rolling around to 2024, he has had the ability to fulfill some of the finer promises that he is made. Arse King. You're talking about Ever. That's not funny, okay? That is not funny. In any event, Sean Lewis of Edge of Liberty, which is you right over there. This guy right there. I understand there are still some people that are trying to go back to 2020 that you can never shove that shit back in the blivet bag. But I think overall, it's probably just not, it's as well, if not better, that President Donald John Trump won in 2024. Your thoughts on that?
Well, everything happens for a reason, right? And as much as we get frustrated when we see very obvious things happen, and as much as even when things aren't obvious and just questionable, and everyone automatically in politics and the mainstream says, "Oh no, it's nothing. You're overreacting. It's not a big deal." To have insight and to have the books opened will either quell suspicion or it will show that we had really good reason to be suspicious. Look, sunlight's the best disinfectant, right? It blows my mind that we need a Freedom of Information Act for stuff like this. Like, any citizen should be able to go in and say, "Hey, I want to see a copy of this." Or, I mean, you can have a local procedure. Maybe you have to pay the copying fee, whatever. But this should be wide open. We should know and be able to look at the ballots. And yeah, I understand that that's a lot of work for the municipalities. And I don't envy that load of work to go in and copy 1 million ballots for people to see. But the trade-off to that is, when we talk about free, fair, and open elections, this is step one. I mean, step one is just verifying the ballots and verifying the verifiers. How many times have we seen different topics, not just elections, where we were told, "Oh no, this is the reality. This is the reality. This is the facts. These are the truths, blah, 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 blah." And then down the line, we find out it's not, right? And social media and legacy media especially has only made America more mistrusting of things like voter fraud. So, I mean, you can't put the cow back in the pen, so to speak. This is already out. This is the world we live in now, and I'm glad there's some microscopes and magnifying glasses on stuff like this, because even though the election's done, even though we can't go back, even though all that stuff happens, I think people need to see either, yes, our election process, at least in Detroit, if this was the case, was done right, or clearly we have work we have to do for the future. But either way, there's no bad coming out of this.
The other thing I want to talk about tonight is this. Trump put this up, and I subscribe to Truth Social, if for no other reason than go to the source directly when he puts a tweet up or a post such as this. And he said this earlier today after reviewing the details of the unserious and ridiculous demands being made by the minority radical left Democrats in return for their votes to keep our thriving country open. Okay, stand by, folks. I hope you're sitting down for this. I've decided no meeting with the congressional leaders could possibly be productive. Why? They are threatening to shut down the government of the United States unless they can have over $1 trillion in new spending to continue free health care for illegal aliens.
I don't have my glasses.
There's a lot more than that in that, but that one aspect right there is enough to tell me, no, absolutely not. Just regular, not no. And for those of you who just tuned in, no. I
wanted to do a Chuck Schumer impression, but I don't have my glasses to push down the end of my nose.
Oh, damn it.
Be able to look down and then look up like this and say, the Democrats are terrorists with the budget. They're not going to help us. They're going to shut down the government, blah, 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 blah. All the shit that he said anytime the Democrats were in power and the Republicans threatened to shut down. Right? It's amazing. And look, I've said this on my show 1 billion fucking times. They do this intentionally. They do this on purpose. They know they know for a year or 6 months or 4 months or whatever that the budget, the omnibus bill, whatever is coming up, and then they wait till the last gun is fired. Why? Because it absolutely helps them fundraise and gets clips. That's all it is. So once again, the government, Congress has let us down with this by allowing it to go to the last minute. I don't care who's in charge and who's not. Look, I'm pissed. Yeah. No, Jersey Joe's right. Schumer and Jeffries screaming for the last several months they were going to shut down the government. I am pissed at Mike Johnson for not doing appropriations over the summer like we were supposed to at the beginning of summer. I am pissed that they didn't do it the right way, and I'm pissed that here we are again at the last minute talking about a budget. This is stupid. This is ridiculous, but this is 100% gets them votes. That's all this is about. They will hold us financially hostage to get votes. It's a game.
Well, that's all they have left. What else do they have left? That's why 2026 is so incredibly important, and that's why we cannot even remotely think about, we got it in the bag. Nothing is ever in the bag. Absolutely nothing is ever in the bag. 2026 is as critical, if not more so, than it has always been.
As I had an old boss tell me one time when I said, hey, it's in the bag. He's like, yeah, reach in that bag with your eyes closed and see what happens. There may be something else in that bag that's going to bite you. Stop saying it's in the bag. Just do the work.
No, exactly. Get out. And I indicated earlier, I will be getting to that. Do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Who did the work? Charlie Kirk did the work. Scott Pressler did the work. All sorts of people went out and went and worn through shoe leather and microphones and college campi all across the United States of America. And they were, it can be said, I think it would be credible that Scott Pressler essentially single-handedly won Pennsylvania for Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a huge state. That was a huge swing state. It was a blue state, and it got turned red by this dude. Who could see that coming except those who looked at him and said, oh my God, the work this guy is doing. Mm-hmm. And the same could be said of Charlie Kirk in terms of Trump.
Of the youth.
Some people have said it's not entirely impossible that by way of the people following Charlie Kirk, and as you indicated, the youth, they and he won the vote specifically through males. This has never occurred in the past 50 to 60 years where young males got out in such numbers that they turned an election. And that's precisely what the American media maggots in Congress don't want you to know or recognize. Okay. All right. Sometimes I have to acknowledge and I'm unpleasant guy. Guess what asshole is coming to dinner? Nice. Rick Robinson, wasabi. Thanks for being here.
So, I guess this probably goes without saying, but when I was a younger man, I worked in a video store that had an adult section, and some of these that are being thrown in the chat room right now, I think actually exist.
They had to be in there. It's like when I name garage bands.
It's still go.
Listen, you started this.
Just after the last break, we're going 20 minutes in. Chat room's lighting up with the best names right now. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Look, they took that shit and ran with it, literally.
100%.
Let me also put this up on the screen too. And I know that you definitely have something to say about this. YouTube now 8. This is so strange. Sean Lewis, Edge of Liberty. Why did it take YouTube 8 months and 3 days to come to this conclusion. YouTube ready to restore accounts. Says Biden White House encouraged them to censor content. A, we knew that. B, Trump has been in now for, as I indicated, 8 months, 3 days. Why so long for YouTube to go, okay, we were just kidding. The second thing about that is this. Okay. And are you also, besides restoring content and accounts, have you also made a decision that, okay, we're not going to throttle conservative venues and channels like ours, like KLRN?
100% my question. Look, the reason why they came out now is because it was going to come out. I'm sure at some point somebody said to them, hey, if you don't say something, we're going to. So we'll either embarrass you or you can save a little face. Yeah, restore it, but reset the algorithm. As we here at SHR and KLRN and others too, there's so many others. It's not just us. No, if you created your channel way back in the day and you were a conservative, you are 100% playing by different rules than even the kids that are making stuff today. You're working on the old algorithm, and if you were put into that compartment, you absolutely are going to live there unless they make a change. So they need to drop the chains. They need to let look, Google is under so much fire, right? They're talking about maybe breaking them up. We're getting all the social media outlets including Google, YouTube's a social media outlet. Hey, the FBI, the Biden administration, whatever, they pressured us to do this. You had Facebook say it, you had Twitter say it. I'm sure it's somebody at YouTube. It would not blow my mind that they absolutely had pressure from the government to do what they did, and Democrats in general. Hey, look, we won't advertise with you all the time if you don't do X, Y, and Z. And yeah, you know what? YouTube's a private business. When I first came back and we were talking back in last September about, me coming back and doing my show, whatever. We had the serious conversation. Do we stay to YouTube? Because it's so limited as to what you can say. They will ding you for anything. Their chat filters you can't say it. I got bit by it tonight. But that's where the majority of the people are. There's still not a decent competitor that is of the same reach that YouTube has. And yes, they are a private business. I understand that when I'm engaging them through their platform, I 100% live by their rules. That is just how it functions. I comprehend that fully. But it tells you everything you need to know about them as a company, that they will 100% limit who gets to say what on one side, and then the other side gets to say anything they want with no questions asked.
Well, it's also, and as you speak, we're watching all the comments weigh in live. Good God, man. Good God. Do you guys not take anything that we say seriously? Well, actually, you took this very, very seriously. And
I am
ran away with it.
I am proud of this chat room tonight.
I know.
It's not often that they bring me to tears.
I know. If I could give them all awards, all of them, I would give them awards.
And they're being so diligent about it. It really.
I know. I have to agree. But the big question about that, though, is, okay, that's YouTube, which is owned by Google, which is owned by Alphabet. How much of a change will we see on that? Does Google, maybe you know more than I do about this. What's the underlying subtext or current in terms of politics? Is somebody somewhere arranging a series of soldiers saying we are more than overdue to fire any number of volleys at Alphabet, Google, and YouTube, and you guys are in our sights? Is there something like that looming over the horizon?
Well, if you're YouTube and you're trying to not get broken up, right? If you're trying to fight the monopoly case, if there's a whole bunch of antitrust lawsuits going on right now against YouTube or against Alphabet companies. Sorry, not YouTube specific. You have to play ball. Look, it's if you don't show that you are a quote unquote good participant and you piss off the wrong judge and your cases start ending up, and as we've seen, the Ninth Circuit Court has not been a slam dunk anymore, and a lot of these cases will end up at the Ninth because of where Alphabet is located. It has changed their responses. Yes, I am reading them all.
High Plains, asshole.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Sorry. That killed me. Okay, that was a great idea, Sean. And these people are taking it and running. Oh my God.
Some of them are probably getting us flagged in the filter by what they're
but some of them have just been absolutely first here's fuck and then there's funny, and some of them have been funnier than fuck.
Assholes.
Oh my God.
I feel for the when I post this to my podcast, the podcast only. I feel for the podcast listeners because they have to go to YouTube and just watch the chat. You can replay live chats. Oh. Oh God.
There's another one.
No.
A fistful of assholes.
For a few assholes more. This joke. It's great. What's great is when I sent this to you, I just figured we'd have a few giggles out of it.
Oh yeah, this has been worth all those giggles and more.
I did not realize this was going to be a whole segment, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Oh God, it's been glorious. So, can we say then, in semi conclusion, that maybe Alphabet, Google, YouTube is beginning to see the writing on the wall because there is more censorship being pushed? We will get to that. This isn't okay.
I
know.
I can't look over a chat and try to make any sort of conversation because I'm dying. I honestly have had tears coming out of my eyes.
Oh. Okay, that was one of the best suggestions I've seen in quite some time. This shit just keeps on coming. Okay, now I'm going to have to try to get through to this. Oh, do I have enough time?
2 minutes.
Yeah, I have enough time, I think, to start this if I can figure out where it is. There we go. And also this.
It's time for happy stories and good times.
And I have one happy story. Let me go up to comments. Oh, wait, I'm all backed up already. Just doing to that.
Dude, you'll never catch up.
Asshole who loved me.
Yeah.
I may spend the rest of the hour just putting these up and just looking at them, reading them, the fast and the assholes. God, we're simple. I am so simply entertained, so easily entertained by the simplest of things. Oh my God, that is glorious. I think I do. I got one more minute. I'm going to put this up as a positive. And I'm not trying to denigrate this, but it is a how do I put this up next to, assholes?
This isn't the story right now. This is not the story right now.
Okay. So anyway,
I'll read it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead there. Because excellent.
This is from what? Fox?
Exactly.
Vermont Christian School reinstated after being banned over transgender athlete controversy. The Mid Vermont Christian School, who you may remember was banned from the league they were playing in because they refused to play against another team that had a trans male athlete, and they have been reinstated to the state athletics program. So that is good news. It's good that works out occasionally, especially in Vermont, this huge liberal bastion that it is.
Sure, that's a happy story if ever there was one.
Before you go to break,
okay.
Poor Tommy Hansen has just walked in to the chat room, and he's
probably wondering what the
hell is going on right now.
Well, you'll have to rewind the tape, Jeremy, to see that and find out. Anyway, all the people.
Nobody told him.
Well, yeah, folks. Well, you can spill the beans. You can tell him, or okay. I'm gonna wrap it up with this one. Welcome to the asylum, and folks. I'm gonna take a break. I'm BZ. That's Sean Lewis, and we'll be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
In a world where leftists are running out of metal for the safety pins of their soothing red diapers, one man stands alone, attempting to fundamentally change America, one leftist diaper at a time. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, is guiding you through the maelstrom of Democrat leftists and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Listen to BZ Saloon on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central, and 11 p.m. Eastern on the SHR Media YouTube channel, Twitch, KLRN, Rumble, and X at BZ Saloon. It's one great late-night conservatarian talk radio show. Be there. Aloha.
Hello, friends. You have a moment so that we may discuss our Lord and Savior Minarchy? No, seriously, I'm just kidding. Hi, my name is Rick Robinson. I am the general manager of KLRNradio.com. We are probably the largest independent podcast network that you've never heard of. We have a little bit of everything, and by that, what I mean to tell you is we have news, pop culture, entertainment, true crime, mental health shows, drama productions, and pretty much everything in between. So if you're looking for a new podcast home to grab a little bit of everything that you love all in one place, come check us out. You can find us on X under @KLRN You can find us on our Rumble and our YouTube channels under the same names. You can also find us at KLRNradio.com and pretty much every podcast catcher known to man. So again, feel free to come check us out anytime you like at KLRN Radio.
It's Sean from the Edge of Liberty. Just like the Bidens, I too am moving. Only in my case, it's days and times. That's right. You can now find the Edge of Liberty Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on 11 Eastern on the SHR Media Network. Join me as we talk politics, news, alcohol, fun, not so much fun, clowns, small kittens, large kittens, dogs, amoebas, and anything else that just pops into my mind while I'm on the air. That is Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 on the East Coast, on YouTube, X, KLRN Radio, Facebook, Twitch, and anywhere else a good podcast is found. Please check out our website, shrmedia.com. I will see you live on the air.
Attention, all patriotic women of faith. Yep, I'm talking to you, sis. Are you looking for high-quality, super soft apparel that reflects your love for country and your devotion to God? Look no further than Carry Girl Gear. Picture this. You rocking a tee so soft it's like being hugged by a cloud, all while showing off your love for God and country. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, welcome to reality, babes, because that's what we're all about here at Carry Girl Gear. We specialize in super soft tees, tanks, and more.
Stop right there. Apple's end game.
Designed specifically for the strong, patriotic woman who proudly wants to carry their message of faith and freedom. When you shop with us, you're not just getting a t-shirt. You're joining a community of like-minded women who are proud to wear their beliefs straight on their tees. So whether you're sipping sweet tea on the porch or leading the charge for faith and freedom, do it in a Carry Girl tee. Because life's too short for stiff, boring tees. carrygirl.com, where faith and freedom meets fashion.
Independence. With that declaration, America was born. Inspired by a belief in the God-given rights of every human.
Battlestar Asshole is pretty good too.
And in the good that comes from exercising these rights well. The founders of our great nation chose independence. As do we. Hillsdale.
Okay, stop. Harry Potter and the Asshole of Fire.
College accepts no government funding because independence makes possible the good to which we aspire.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
I'm back. Oh, Lord, forgive them because they know not what they do. I'm sorry. Shit, Sean, you have created a monster. You've created a monster. I haven't been able to get anything read. Thank God that thing, I just click on it and it just plays.
Oh, gosh. This is all my fault. I take full of the blame.
I know. It's.
I take full blame and credit all at once.
Yeah.
Poor Jeremy.
No, Kettle One has not been here yet.
Hasn't even happened yet.
Yes. So far, this has been one of my favorites. The Sorcerer's Asshole. I wouldn't have stopped the damn thing if I didn't think that shit was funny, okay?
Oh, from a meme.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm sweating and crying. I am laughing so hard.
Okay, let me go back to the original meme. Back in the first half hour, Sean said...
Jeremy knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, Sean sent me this in private chat. And then I went, oh, hey, that'll be interesting. Why don't we put this up? So I did. We put this up. Name a movie, but replace one word with asshole. And then
all hell broke loose.
This alcohol may have been involved. And hilarity ensues. All of this stuff, of course, is guaranteed to put an upward crease on your pie hole. And we have managed to do precisely that. To the point where I stopped the show. I stopped the show. And I because you're laughing.
I haven't laughed this hard, and I can't even tell you when. Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
The poor asshole project.
I'll get to it.
Oh my gosh. Oh. I had to turn down the air and hair at the last.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this up for a second.
I just lost it on.
I just got to it.
Oh my gosh.
If I drank anything right now to come out my nose.
One of us. Rick Robinson. One of us. One of us. Oh God.
Oh, how do I follow that up?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not quite sure.
Do we have to pick a different word every week?
That might not be bad for a meme, so to speak. Okay. Let me see if I can put this up. One of the other things that you sent me, Fine, I'm gonna do it.
You doing the asshole invaders? Whatever happened to baby asshole? This joke should not have been this awesome. Or maybe I'm just a juvenile. I get it.
That's what I am. Listen, I'll be the first to admit. I am this. I guess I'm just not an adult at soon to be 76 next month. I still find this amusing, and I can still laugh at this. Okay, I'm going to try to gather myself, except for this.
Oh gosh, you guys are just awesome.
I've been playing every one, except if I knew for a fact it was a double of something else.
Something we'd actually get nailed for.
Yeah.
Holy moly! How
do I get the show back?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if I can.
The Dark Castle. Really want to the asshole back.
We're actually adults here, okay?
No, we're not tonight, man.
Would you please understand that we are predominantly adults here?
You know what's great? I know we're trying to get to topics and we're trying to get back on track just a wee bit, but I keep adding stuff in the chat room as we're trying to.
This one.
Ice Station asshole. Oh, the asshole. Oh, gosh.
I'm going to try to bring the show back. I'm not.
Saturday Night Assholes.
It's just keep coming. How can I stop?
Jerry McAssholes.
Two adults laughing at comments.
Oh my gosh. I know. Oh god.
If I didn't know, I'd suspect they're trying to do this intentionally too.
Oh yes. Guys, come on, we need to stop and get it back on track.
But I'll make an observation. Mission Ready Men is still here after an hour because he wants to see what's going to go up in comments.
It makes me wonder just how many people are just peeking in just for this. My fair asshole, pale asshole, Transformers asshole bots.
Next to kill me.
Oh God.
I'm starting to cry.
Oh my God, seriously.
I can't talk.
Top asshole Maverick. I have tears. Ray Rogers asshole. We're done. It's all done. It's done. Oh my God. Oh.
Let me come back to the mic if I can. Pretty.
Oh, please.
I had a show once about an hour ago.
Assholes. No, I can't. I just can't. Oh gosh. Oh. Cabin in the assholes. With one asshole. Dukes of assholes. Asshole on 34th Street.
I have a question.
Yeah. Good luck.
Should we just let this go to its conclusion?
Oh God, yes. I mean, let's be honest. Because I'm just typing in just as many as everybody else is. And this story I really wanted to cover tonight, but I can't right this second. Berserk Bobcat Saloon asshole saloon radio show.
There's a lot more truth in that than people would admit, or maybe they would admit.
Oh gosh,
I have to admit that this isn't bad. Winning.
Wait, do you get to Joe's next one? That was. I want to know in chat, honestly, raise your hand or just put an A if you've had stuff filtered out and you haven't been able to reword it so it gets through. I just want to know the asshole connection. Asshole Gump. Okay.
Now that's a good one.
Oh gosh.
Okay. All right. Now you guys play nicely in chat. I'll try to remember where we were. And I'm at this point, we're not going to make it through the show. I'm not going to make it through this show. There's so much stuff that I wanted to talk about. And I know for a fact that we will not get to this. I talked about happy stories. Okay, fine. I have to admit, this one got me.
Yeah, assholes. Okay. Oh. Speaking of assholes, Jeremy, I think we're going to try to get to that before we run out of time tonight. But yes,
I'll tell you what, if we
assholes.
can't get this tonight, then folks, what you're going to have to do is
Chat won if we can't get to it tonight. They won.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yes. Then Sean will have to continue this on his show.
Yes.
Tomorrow, because Sean, having done this here, will not make the mistake.
This is all my fault.
Of doing this to his show.
All my fault.
You can be guaranteed of that. So let's. I'll start with this. What happened is the Secret Service dismantled a network of more than 300 SIM servers and 100,000 SIM cards in the New York area that were capable of crippling telecom systems, carrying out anonymous telephonic attacks, and disrupting the threat before world leaders arrived in the General Assembly. And this is from the U.S. Secret Service. This protective intelligence investigation led to the discovery of more than 300 co-located SIM servers, 100,000 SIM card sites across multiple sites. And in addition to carrying out anonymous telephonic threats, these devices could be used to conduct a wide range of telecommunication attacks, disabling of cell phone towers, enabling DOS or DDoS, denial of service attacks, and facilitating anonymous encrypted communications between potential threat actors and criminal servers.
I mean, the first thing you get to think of when you read this is mass casualty incident, right? You bring down the 911 system. And a lot of people don't realize that, and I don't know New York City's set up for this, but I know in a lot of big cities now, you can text with 911. And then if you go after the 911 system itself, the actual telephone system, and you overload the cell towers, look, during 9/11, and I know there's a lot of technology advancements since then, and we've made adjustments to it. But during 9/11, one of the biggest problems on the ground that they were having communications wise is the towers that were left in the New York area, New Jersey area, were overloaded with people trying to call to see if everyone was okay. They lost radio towers and repeaters that were on top of the trade centers. This is, if somebody were to do something evil on a large scale, this is the first thing. This is the frag grenade. You take down the system and you do something horrible, and it completely disrupts the response. And this is frightening. And the fact that it was found is massive. Good job, Secret Service. I know they've been following on this one for a while. And but this is, it's frightening. I mean, you have to think how much of our society is surrounded by cell towers, cell phones, text messages, and digital transmissions, and the internet, right? I mean, those 5 things make up so much of, I would say 95% of our communication in this modern world. So to have something in place that could have potentially taken all of that down in a city like New York is absolutely frightening.
Well, the other thing that we know,
they're pointing to China for this, by the way,
is that, well, yeah, China, how many times do we need to be told that we've been slapped by China and we're not slapping back, as far as I can tell. Mm-hmm. And China is our enemy. And we knew this was coming. One of the first things that took down essentially all communications was a hack attack on Ukraine that took down their entire grid for about 5, 6, or 7 or 8 hours. It was called something in particular. I can't think of what it was. Mike Fitzpatrick, who is my cybersecurity dude, said, yeah, that was the first cyber attack that we know of on power infrastructure. And if they could do it, and anybody else can do it as well. When everything is linked to the internet, when everything is digital, as Mike Fitzpatrick said any number of times. Okay, I'm going to put this in just for a second. Just a little bit.
No, I know.
Just a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've built our entire everything off of technology, right? And I understand the necessity of it, and I understand the benefits of it, but we forget that there are these massive drawbacks and living in a ginormously technologically rooted world where everything look at what we're doing right now, right? You look at our phone systems. How many times when an airline's reservation system or a cell phone company gets hacked, is it like the end of the world on social media and the news? Everybody freaks out. And I understand why, but you look at what that impact does to us. Now you imagine a massive city like New York where everybody is in that situation, and God forbid there is some sort of horrific act going on of evil. It's frightening.
Well, we've had entire Tracons taken down. We have had individual commercial airways taken down.
Mm-hmm.
We've had massive hacks where there were multiple millions of names that were accessed, spread around, and sold. And if it's digital, it can and will be hacked. That's why California is looking at chipping either your vehicle, your GPS, or creating a license plate to put on people's cars so that they can track mileage. If I get to the stuff that I've got about California, oh my God. But again, if you place an RFID chip on a license or utilize the GPS by the state, the government, all of that will be hacked. LPR technology has been hacked.
Yeah, 100%. And I was
already.
You look at how many state agencies, not just in California, but how many state agencies in the country have been hacked. The federal government's been hacked. Social Security wasn't that hacked last year. It's incredible to think of what could be hacked, and the fact that you have a state like California that still wants to march down that road because fuck the citizens, as long as we can collect a couple of extra pennies, that's what's important.
Well, it wasn't, EVs are great. You can be in the HOV lane and we're not going to tax you, and you're not going to have to worry about tax and gas until it became an issue of losing money. And it's just like all the utilities. There were 3 or 4 utilities back east that had been hammering their customers for almost a decade. Save money, turn off your lights, turn off your appliances, save your money, save the power, to the point where they were so efficacious at doing it that those 3 utilities decided, we're not making the money that we used to, so we're going to jack up your rates. And that's the exact same thing that's going to be coming for California as well. Here's another happy story. Asylum seekers are fleeing across the Canadian border after rampant ICE raids as Quebec crossings jump 263%. That's wonderful. And then the one that you've come here to see tonight, folks. And let's see, it's only about 9:27 Pacific, which means it's 11:27 Central and 12:27 on the East Coast and 1749.723 in Bolivian time, because I could never understand Bolivian time. But this is great. This is what you came here to see. Beginning Tuesday night, tonight, Sinclair. Now, go back. Maybe you can give a lead in to this, Sean. How do we get to Sinclair?
Well, and what's it? Nexstar is the other one. They're both doing it. Neither one of them
got that next. You betcha.
Which leads a whopping, I think, 10 ABC direct-owned stations in the country that are going to be playing Kimmel tonight. And yeah, they're going to stream him and all this other stuff. He's going to get seen. He's already released a statement. He's back on the air. It's already been, and I'll read it right here. This was said on the air live, and thank you, Jersey Joe, to send us. It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. For those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't ever. Now, look, we both know that is a very vanilla response. That is not, I have learned my lesson. That is, I got to keep my phony baloney job, gentlemen. But he said it. We're here now. It killed the entire argument that Trump was destroying the First Amendment. You saw how quickly that faded. It showed that ABC Disney was in fact charged. And look, the reality is they're not going to make the money off of these stations because they're not running his content. So these stations that make the most money for that show, he's now operating at a loss. There is absolutely no way that they're going to re-sign him next year. His show is already in a doom spiral. And ABC Disney gets to save face because now they can't say, oh, they bowed to the government, which was never a thing anyhow. There was no violation issued by the FCC. So everybody kind of weasels their way out of this, except for Jimmy Kimmel's pocketbook and Disney's pocketbook, because you have all but 8 or 10 stations in the country running his show in their regular time. They're either going to be preempted by another show, or well, they all are. They're all going to be preempted by another show.
Well, if you look at what we used to get measured by at KFBK was what was called the ARB, or the Arbitron. It was called the book back then. And you lived or died in terms of your advertising ratings by the book. And if you got a good book, your advertising rates could go up a little bit. If you got a bad book, the advertisers would flee, or they would complain if they perceived that you were charging too much. But the truth about this is Stephen Colbert should not have been removed first. Jimmy Kimmel, in terms of ratings, should have been removed first, because it was Jimmy Kimmel who got about 1 million fewer viewers than Stephen Colbert. So they reversed the truth about that. Colbert, if he was going to be removed, should have been second, and Jimmy Kimmel should have been first. Let's put this up now.
Well, I do look at the value to the individual company, right? I mean, you look at Colbert's CBS. You look at CBS got out ahead of it, and they said, "Hey, look, we're just not renewing it. We'll take the lump from the liberal lunatics that just sit there and orally copulate Colbert because they think he's funny." As I said on my show last week, I think ABC was looking for a reason. I
completely concur.
And I think they got one. And even though they're letting him back on the air, they're playing the good guy. This still sets it up for the show's not making money and we have to dump it. That's what this is going to be next.
Well, it's like, who's the guy that said in Chicago, never let a good crisis go to waste?
I'm Emmanuel.
This is a good crisis. This is a good crisis for ABC, CBS, and soon to be NBC. These people are losers. We just watched an individual speak at length about the death of the media right now, about the death of television stations, about how media is essentially being kicked to the curb by AI, and they are not the gatekeepers anymore. And they are losing power and wealth and control. And
means they're going to up the antics.
Incredible amounts of money. It's all about the money. All about the money.
Sad too. You were talking about Colbert and Kimmel, and it brings you down to Jimmy Fallon. I am 100% convinced, because Jimmy Fallon, to his credit, for the most part, stays away from politics. Every once in a while, he'll throw out a jibe, which is fine. Any other host has done that. His is usually, at least lighthearted. It's usually not mean-spirited like the other two are, right? He tries to, but I've said, if we were not in the political world that we're in, if you're on mainstream media, you have to go orange man bad no matter what, or you will be drowned, or you have to kiss liberal ass or you will drown. If we were just in a more normal society, I think Kimmel would probably be the best one out of all, not Kimmel, Fallon would be the best out of the three of them, because he's just goofy and funny. Like
he actually possesses a sense of humor.
Yes.
And like the story, the theme of tonight's show was the insane get insanerer. Well, the insane were getting insanerer. Let me put this up if I can for a moment. The insane is, again, how do you hold a conversation with a guy?
How do you square that circle?
How do you discuss anything with an individual that believes that?
Right.
And then you've got an individual who is, Keith Olbermann says, burn in hell, Sinclair, alongside Charlie Kirk. But wait, he hasn't stopped there. Well, can you conduct any kind of a civilized conversation with Keith Olbermann, particularly in light of his threat to Scott Jennings,
which he pulled, and he said it wasn't really a threat and he didn't mean it that way. But look, I mean, the damage is done, right?
The internet is forever. How do you think I got this? Because the internet is forever.
And it's going to be interesting to see. I think he is signed to iHeartRadio or one of those.
Does he even have a show? Does he have a show?
Yeah, he does like a podcast or whatever, but it's one of those ones that's like a network podcast. It's not an individual. It's not like he produces it himself. But it shows you how quickly the whole story about Kimmel. And by the way, Kimmel getting suspended by ABC there was a shooting in Sacramento at the ABC 10 studios on Broadway, and an ultra lunatic leftist nutball was the suspect, and he's been arrested. He's charged both locally and federally. He was arrested, bailed because it's California. Good night, assholes. Jersey Joe, that was awesome. And then he was rearrested by the feds, and now he's facing federal charges. But look, that story didn't get any coverage. Why? Because it was leftist violence. And, you know, earlier this week, or at the end of the first few days, well, no, it was earlier last week, I should say. A lot of people were citing the American Defense League, the ADL, study about left violence and right violence, and how, it's 73% of right-wing violence is blah, blah, blah. 73% of political violence is right-wing. Well, the way they were doing their sampling and their stats is, if it was any sort of violence against any government entity whatsoever, it was automatically concluded to be right-wing violence. If it was, the only way it would be left-wing violence if it was like environmental based. So that study was proven wrong repeatedly. And you look at what this led to. I mean, God, imagine if somebody, we were fortunate, imagine if somebody got struck inside that ABC 10 studio, and now this led to a murder of an individual because the left has repeatedly stoked the insanity of the mentally infirm that vote for them.
Well, and they also determined that the suspect in that shooting at ABC, and you have to ask yourself, I'll go into the suspect in just a moment, a Mexican dude who is a leftist, who was a member of some board on the state of California, always spell it with a K. But you have to wonder, was that shooting, what percentile was ABC affected by that shooting? Did someone somewhere on some high boardroom, and perhaps, yes, they were high, say, God, we've already had our affiliates shot at because of this. Everyone seems to want it back. Well, hell, we may as well go ahead and relent, and we'll let him back on the air. I'm curious. We'll never know.
Nope.
But I'm curious how much that played into the effect of the decision from ABC. But wait, also next
Go back that for a second, because do you know what's probably a bigger concern for Disney and ABC?
Well, besides money.
Well, no, is that sort of violence, if they kept Kimmel off the air, would have come to one of their parks.
But see, here's what I've said for years. All of you asshole leftists, that's the word of the day, word of the night, apparently. All of you have intentionally, purposely taken these little bitty lizards, and you've petted them, and you've fed them, and now these motherfuckers are dragons.
Yep.
And now you created them. You are going to reap that whirlwind, as Schumer said of SCOTUS. You created all of that. You created all of that, and you shouldn't be shocked. So let's see. Sinclair said, oh, no affiliates. Nexstar said, no affiliates. So we're pulling this stuff. So you're essentially going to have to go way out of your way to make sure, if you want to watch any of Jimmy Kimmel. But because everyone knows Jimmy Kimmel was so good. Okay, stop. I thought I had this. Let's pull it back and let's turn that on. And Jimmy Kimmel, take it.
Oh, they took away his precious. Well, Facebook upheld their ban of Donald Trump today for at least another 6 months.
It is so funny to watch the Trump supporters and the Republicans melt down over Tucker Carlson getting fired from Fox News.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways.
Fox News.
Wait a minute. What the fuck was that sitting over in the left? The far left of there? Is that a warehouse at the end of that table? It kind of looks like one.
Just a tent.
Yeah.
And never forget, too, he was the same person that said unvaccinated should be dying in hospitals if they have a heart attack because they shouldn't be allowed in. So it's not like Jimmy Kimmel's this angel human being.
Well, wait.
Go ahead.
There's more coming.
So mad.
Carlson, after all these years,
They evaluated whether or not Trump's tweets violated Twitter policy. They said no, we could just label it as incitement to violence anyway to get the job done.
Donald Trump's Twitter account just got suspended. Now, the first thing that we need to note is that this is very, very funny.
And even with Twitter, you cannot find actual evidence of any direct government censorship of any lawful speech.
Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg claims he was pressured by the White House to censor content related to COVID-19 during the pandemic.
And direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable.
And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox.
Let me pause this for a second. What were you going to say, Sean?
Well, I was just going to say he's the one who also, he made the comments that if you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't be allowed in emergency rooms. You look at the blackface that he did on the Man Show, which he never got canceled for because he bends the knee and he suckles the teat of the left. You look at all the things that the feminists should have canceled him for on the Man Show, which, look, I don't set those rules. Comedy's comedy. I get it. What he said wasn't comedy. That's a different story, but the ABC made the choice they made. But on the Man Show, everything it was funny. But the point is, you live by the leftist rules, and if that was anybody else, they would have been canceled.
Well, certainly. And UBG is right. Clips of lefties, yeah, there's a ton of these.
Incitement of violence.
There are Americans who are engaged in kind of propaganda, and whether they should be civilly or criminally charged would.
Okay, civilly or criminally charged. Oddly enough, I have something about that. Anybody remember this? That's a reference to this. Hillary Clinton says some Americans who share political misinformation should be criminally charged. Those were right out of her lips, and you heard that and you saw it.
Mm-hmm. And she's also the same person that called everybody deplorable. I mean, Hillary Clinton obviously is just the world's biggest douchebag. And I'm really glad that she will never have the word president next to her name. But the part that kills me about all of this, look, ABC is a private company. They can bring them back. That's what they chose to do. Sinclair, Nexstar, they're making their choices. This is business. This had nothing to ever do with the FCC or Trump. Trump didn't ruin anyone's First Amendment rights, blah, 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 blah. And by the way, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, is specifically designed so the individuals and the media can speak out about the government without prosecution. Yes. But it does not mean that a private business has to allow you on their airs and embarrass them. Just like private businesses don't have to employ you when you celebrate the murder of a young man, private businesses can do what private businesses do. And this is what they just convinced all of these low information morons, is that Kimmel won in a free speech war against Trump, which is not at all what happened.
No.
He didn't win anything. They let him back in probably because they know that his numbers are going to be garbage and they're going to have to just cancel him. They're going to lose so much money, they'll say, sorry. Without Sinclair and Nexstar, who are, by the way, both, I believe, talking about, mergerships. And then you have Scott Wiener from California, who said on his X today or yesterday, I can't wait to break up Nexstar. And it's like, first of all, you're barely a state senator. Nobody really knows who you are other than you're the scumbag that keeps letting people near kids. You're a weirdo. How are you going to break up anything? He will never. I mean, I'll tell you right now, if you don't know who Scott Wiener is, he's a California senator out of San Francisco. If you don't know who he is literally the person who you read the stuff that he posts online, especially with who he wants to protect, and the rest of this country would be frightened by that man, by the fact that he has any power. And I laugh that of all the monopolies that they want to talk about breaking up in this country, they're going to go after Nexstar first. Oh, but funny, there's only a shitload of other ownerships for other networks and other stations. It's not a monopoly. They do a lot of ABC stuff. Yeah, they own a lot of ABC stations and other stations, but they're not the monopoly. It kills me because these same fucks won't even talk about improving healthcare. I mean, we all know Obamacare has put us in this lousy shit situation, but you start looking at some of the insurance companies and these hospital groups that own hospitals all over this country. Those are the monopolies you should be focused on if you want to start talking about breaking down monopolies, right? I mean, they're the ones who are absolutely have a problem. I mean, there's crony capitalism going on there. It's like the insurance companies back in the day when they broke them up. It's like cable back in the day when they broke it up. But
Actel, Ma Bell.
All of a sudden now this is the priority. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, the other thing I want to as my my law professor, Eldon Long, used to say, contrast and compare. Okay, well, let's look at this. A reminder, Hillary Clinton says Americans who share political misinformation should be criminally charged. And then compare that to this. Oh, gosh, listen.
Look, I think the idea that, that Donald Trump can likely make a call to the FCC or to Mr. Carr, the chairman of the FCC, and then work through Sinclair and all these stations to pull a talk show. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel is a talk show host comedian who during a monologue gave an opinion. And he's going to lose his show over that. This is an immense
But see how the lies, they cannot help but tell lies because at its base, at its fundamental foundation, laid in concrete, are the lies.
That's all they
it
have
has nothing to do that. Yes, that's all they have. The lies are that Trump called up the FCC. Hey, get rid of Kimmel. No, it was self-scourging. ABC did that. Trump didn't do that. ABC did that. Now Sinclair and Next Gen have said, we're the affiliates. We get to decide, and we're not going to carry that. So when you start off with a lie like this guy, you cannot believe anything that they say afterwards. But wait, he's going somewhere.
By the president, by his administration, and it happened to Colbert. It's happened now to Jimmy Kimmel. Donald Trump is saying that it may happen to others, that other folks.
But I just played Tucker being pulled off the air. I just played Trump being pulled off social media. No reference to that.
Lose their license. I mean, this is the First Amendment.
Didn't Tucker part ways with Fox under Biden?
Yes.
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's under direct attack by the president of the United States. And I hope that folks are as outraged as I am and the folks that I'm talking to on the street, because people are viewing this as an attack on free speech. And what happened to the Republican Party that was against cancel culture and promoted freedom of speech and that believes that everyone should have a chance to be heard?
Hold on, I'll answer that.
Sure. Me too.
We laughed our ass off when it happens to you guys because you guys were canceling comedians for jokes they did 20 years earlier. That was you. That wasn't us. You set the precedence. And then when you have to live by the rules, all of a sudden it's whataboutism. Well, go fuck yourself. You did this yourself.
On the campus of Sac State, I can remember the ACLU saying, and also the riots in Berkeley, they were rioting for free speech. The ACLU doesn't give a round fuck about free speech anymore. That was their forte. No longer.
Hypocrisy is immense here. And so, Oversight Committee has already.
See, the hypocrisy is immense. We have said for quite some time, whatever it is that the leftists and the Democrats are accusing you of, they are doing back to you, only infinitely worse, harder, and longer.
Well, and here's the thing, BZ. He's talking to people. Look, this is designed for people that are so deep orally copulating leftist policies and ideas. This speech is designed, this little speech he's given here, for the indoctrinated college students, the 20-something-year-olds that have been told that people like him know what they're talking about, so you should always believe them. This is for the mentally infirm to be outraged by. This is what leads to an attack against people like Charlie Kirk, because what he's saying there and is entirely untrue and is entirely full of bullshit, and he knows it when he was saying it, is that President Trump single-handedly removed Jimmy Kimmel's show from the air.
Wrong.
That's what he's saying. So what he's saying, it goes back to, and they've started since, even though there was all that talk for 3 days about toning down the rhetoric, that it goes right into the he's Hitler, he's this, he's that, he's an autocrat, blah, 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 blah. They just keep feeding right into it. They have that needle so deep in their vein, that black tar politics just running so fucking deep into them that they can't pull it out. They can't stop now. The withdrawals would kill them.
No, there cannot be one iota, one micrometer, 1 inch, one molecule of fallback or admission that, oh, we may have been wrong. No, that's why I say on this show, the insane get insanerer. What this guy and people like him, hundreds and thousands of people like this, are fomenting violence. Because with the weak-brained, the individuals who are the stegosaurus amongst us, the stegosaurus had a brain the size of a walnut in its head. And then that wasn't enough to make its rear legs move. It had a ganglion of nerves in its rear hips to make its rear legs move. That's your typical Mark I, Model 1 Democrat and leftist. And so what they hear when they hear this guy is, go out, Mangione was right, that other kid whose name I will fail to mention was right, and also the guy today who attempted to assassinate Trump, the nut, he was found guilty on all 5 charges. The jury took like maybe 35 seconds to come back with a guilty on him.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, I got the notification that they're in deliberations, and I swear I went in to use the restroom. By the time I was done washing the hands, I got a notification that he tried to hurt himself after the verdict.
Yeah, took a pen, wanted to stab himself. U.S. Marshals went, no, not so fun, not so fast, mister.
Not getting out of it.
We're going to do it for you. That's our privilege. Speaking of which, these people are conflating, and have consistently done so, the difference between rights and privileges.
Yes.
I do not have a right to a TV show. I do not have a right to a Bentley Arnage. It's a privilege to have a TV show. It's a privilege for me to have a podcast. It's a privilege for me to have as many people that are watching right now as they are. And to each and every one of you, I thank you on behalf of myself and Sean Lewis and SHR, but this is a privilege. It is not a right. I don't get to do that. You get to do it if you make bank and ratings.
Letters. We've already opened investigations up on Sinclair, on the FCC. And I'll tell you this, we got James Comer on the Oversight Committee to commit publicly, I got it publicly, that he would bring Brendan Carr in front of the Oversight Committee. So we are expecting and hoping that happens, because we have a lot of questions there.
Okay, well, stop.
I think
Brendan Carr. There are any number of cuts on the internet of Brendan Carr saying what he said. There's nothing new to squeeze out of him. That lemon juice is already droozled down that leg.
They want to ask one question while he's under oath. Did Donald Trump tell you to do that? That's all they want to get to. And it doesn't matter what the end game is. All they want is that soundbite. That's all these oversight committees have come to, is just getting sound bites.
Gesundheit.
Pardon.
Yes. Jeez. I want to go into this. This and another story, if I can get to it. I think probably be the last 2 stories.
Okay.
Maybe I'm Bigfoot in your show. Maybe I'm not.
No, go
But
for it.
I have a particular point that I want to make, and that's this. So Newsom made a big dealio out of, we have a law. So let me play Newsom. We have a law.
All right. It's AB 49. It's just signed the law. SB 81. SB 98. SB 805.
So let me stop this right now because I'm running out of time. And essentially what one of them said is that California now has a law saying that law enforcement cannot wear masks or coverings. And that this is Gavin Newsom, who I'm assuming still has a relatively decent prostate, can go into his bathroom at night, jerk off, and spooge the wall in front of him because it does nothing. This does nothing. The federal government law enforcement answers not to the state of California, particularly with regard to masks, coverings, uniforms, or any of the accoutrement therein. This is a law that does nothing but makes people, just like Gavin do in his bathroom, do all up and down California. This is Sturm und Drang about nothing. Zip, zero. The feds are going to give you the high fickle finger of flying fuck to you and continue to do the same thing. Now, what is Gavin Newsom's response to that? You want to send CHP or local agencies against the federal government?
No, that was never the intention, BZ. I'll tell you what the intention was. It has nothing to do with any point of reality. The intention of this bill was to incite the low information voters, the morons who vote for them, every time they see a federal agent with a mask on his face, start screaming, you're against the law, you're violating the law, you're breaking the law, and becoming more, and maybe even try to effect a citizen's arrest because they don't know what the law is. It's to create more controversy with ICE. It has nothing to do. They know they can't enforce it. They knew it when they wrote it. They have 100 lawyers that says, no, this is unenforceable. Like, they know all that bullshit. They don't care. This is a virtue signaling law to say, look at what we did, and to cause, I'll tell you right now, to target ICE by people standing around being like, oh, California's got a law. You can't wear that mask on your face. I don't understand the supremacy clause. Oh, and all of a sudden now you have all the friggin' what do they call them? The 1A auditors, all the camera phone people, all that's the point of this law, is to create controversy and cause violence involving ICE so they get it on camera.
And that's not going to get ICE hurt very much unless you're talking about a shooting war. What it will get is the people that object to Gavin Newsom's law. It will get them hurt.
And on
injured,
camera,
or seriously injured.
ICE will be the bad guy. And no matter what's said about reality, those people are never going to listen to it.
Here's the one final video that I want to pull up. And definitely I want because this was a law. It got passed, but it did not, if I'm reading this correctly and what you said, it did not get signed
as of
yet by Gavin Newsom.
It could have been signed by now, but it wasn't signed as of 4:00 this afternoon.
So what law is this about, BZ? Listen.
Is this conspiracy theory or is this reality? What I'm about to tell you is going to shock you because I fact-checked this according to AI.
The insane get insanerer.
It's a meat market bill. It is a trafficking bill. It is unbelievable. So much so, don't believe me. Go to realimpact.us. It allows an individual to obtain this new form that comes with the bill.
Only in California. Only in California.
They fill it out, and they can name a child. John goes to a school in California and says, I have this form and I am asking for Susie Q to be received into my custody. I want to take her out of school. The bill does not require a background check for this man, requires no identification, no driver's license, no nothing. There's no requirement in the bill for the school to call you to ask you if it's okay if John takes your daughter out of school. If this bill passes, I am going to ask you to leave the state of California. You're going to need to pack up and you're going to have to get out. You got to get out. You got to run with your kids. You got to go.
Okay, stop. I want to ask you this question at the conclusion. I'll pose it now, but I'd like your answer when we finish with the video. What's the purpose of this?
Go.
Hey, Grok. I'm going to ask you some questions about AB 495 in California. Please respond with a yes or a no answer. According to AB 495, a child can be taken from school from their caregiver. Is that correct? Yes. According to AB 495, it says that this includes non-relative extended family members who can sign the affidavit. Would this also include them? Yes. Can anyone essentially fall into the category then of a non-relative family member? Yes. Is there anything in this bill explicitly that would prevent a stranger from kidnapping a child from school, provided they filled out the affidavit and claimed to be a non-relative family member? And Grok says no.
Okay, so my first question is, what's the purpose of this? And the other thing, because I haven't gone through the text, perhaps you have, Sean Lewis. My first thought when hearing this was, okay, does that preclude government from going in to a classroom or a school, removing your child because information was revealed to government that you were keeping your child out of LGBTQ classes, for example, or there were social media posts that you had made as a family indicating that you were not in keeping with LGBTQ, and could the government then thusly go in and take your child?
Or Democrat politics at that point, right? It could be for any reason at this point. There's no articulable reason needed, really. And what scares me more is, can the teachers at that school start signing these affidavits in circles and removing this kid and that kid and this kid and that kid, right? It is about control of children. It is also about wedging the government further between children and their parents. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You don't raise your kids, we do. They're not your kids, they're ours. Your kids will be raised in the socialist communist society that we want them to live in. And I will tell you right now, if I catch wind that this ever happened with either one of my children, you will see me on the news. And I know I'm not the only one. This is going to lead to violence. You will see parents who, when the first few times, especially when this, if it doesn't get struck down almost immediately. Now, I would suspect that Harmeet Dillon and the civil side of the DOJ and the civil rights side are probably filing lawsuits as we speak, because I don't see how this is constitutional, and I don't see how this is safe. I don't see how anybody can have parental rights with your child that has no
no familial linkage whatsoever.
Look, both my kids are adopted. Both of our adoptions came through the foster care system. For the first 3 years of their life, both of them, I couldn't even decide what sort of medicines they got. I had to get the approval of the county. What sort of hair they were going to have, I had to get approval for the county. All of this stuff had to get approval by the county. Why? Because the kids were technically wards of the county until the adoption was finalized. This is saying your kids are never yours. They're always a ward of the county or of the state. We're just letting you keep them until you prove that you are no longer able to do so in our eyes.
Those are government saying to you, those are our rights.
Yep.
Your privilege. It's your privilege to abide by our decrees.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
Sean Lewis.
Yes, sir.
I could say something similar to, you've got a show tomorrow night.
Ew.
Tell everybody about your show, where and when they can see it, sir.
Well, this happy asshole will be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 on the East Coast on the SHR Media Network and simulcast on KLRN with our great friends over there. And you can find it on YouTube where you're watching it right now. You can chat with us like you did tonight. Please like and subscribe. Like to each episode. If you're in the chat room and you haven't hit the like button on tonight's episode, you're the asshole.
What's wrong with you?
And the subscribe, please subscribe if you haven't. And of course there's X, Facebook Live, Rumble, Twitch, all the other ones. So please join us and all the other great shows on SHR and our friends over at KLRN. And BZ, thank you for letting me share the airwaves with you this evening, sir.
It was a privilege to have you on the show.
It was a privilege to be on.
Here's something that I know for a fact I will not be able to do with this show. And that is, I will not be able to shove this show into Opus and come out with clips, will I?
Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. If you don't do it, I will.
Anyway, Sean Lewis, thank you ever so kindly.
Thank you to the chat room tonight for winning. You guys won.
Here, let me do this. I'm going to take Sean out here so Sean can't hear what I'm going to say next. So don't tell Sean, but I'm going to suggest, air quotes, suggest that because I was such a kind gentleman inviting him on the show tonight, maybe he could return that and invite me on the show tomorrow night. I see him back behind there. He's smiling. I don't know exactly what he's saying. He might be thinking something similar to, you know what? That ship has sailed. That crap has flown, BZ.
My ship has been lost.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thanks ever so kindly for listening to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show, live and direct right here on the SHR Media Network, also on KLRN, not live tonight, but also in reheat tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken, and that will be after Sean's show, Bastardo. And you can watch it also on all sorts of bulbous podcast locales. Promotional considerations, as per normal, are by the Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, also by Shure and Electro Voice microphones, by the Arrakis Company, the people who make my board, and the Pratt & Whitney Company, producing dependable engines whose thrust you can trust. Also, tiaras tonight are, as per normal, by My Little Pony. Thanks to my guest tonight, Sackhead Sean, and thanks to my personal KC-135 Kettle One refueling team with whom I shall be consorting in less than about, 10, 15 minutes or so. Thanks to everybody for being here tonight. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching and listening live, being in the chat room, and listening later in podcast. God bless everybody. Be back here Thursday night. Sasquatch.
Everybody quiet down now and get some sleep. Night, everybody. Night, Mama. Night, Ben. Good night, everyone.
Okay, stop right there. Did I say Sasquatch? What that means is next Thursday night, I'm going to have Dan Toth back again. And he's going to talk about the BIG, the Bigfoot Investigative Group. And he's going to be talking about the hunts that he's been on in order to try to identify Sasquatch. And then he and I are going to do a tribute to Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who recently passed within the month of brain cancer. One of the finest anthropologists in the field possible. We were going to invite him into the 2026 Coeur d'Alene BIG convention. He sadly passed away. We'll be talking about him and any number of things such as that. So if you're interested in Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, be here Thursday night. We're going to talk about it with Dan Toff.
Good night, Mama. Good night, Daddy. Good night, children. Good night, Daddy. Good night, Elizabeth. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Tim Bob. Good night, Tim Bob. Good night, Tim Bob. What's going on? I was asleep. What's everybody doing? Good night, Tim Bob.
Good night, and good luck.